fault when a customer doesn't pay for the work they hired you to do. I got to watch this play out at a I got to watch this play out from a distance with a personal friend of mine. She asked a friend of hers in a club she's in, who happens to be a graphic designer, if she would design her logo for her plant shop. That artist not only agreed, she said she'd give her a discount for being a friend. My friend asked what her rates were, and she was told that they were $45 an hour retail. That was my first clue that something was off here. That's not usually a term artists or graphic designers use. Retail? What? Are you putting it in a blister pack in Target? What in the world? Now let me be clear, I don't actually feel that an artist should feel obligated to give a discount to family, friends, acquaintances, anybody. If you are going to give a discount to somebody, you still want to treat them as professionally as you would any other paying customer. So the discount was offered at a retail rate. Do you know what's missing here? How much the final bill will be. How many hours is it going to take? My friend, not knowing better, just assumed 1 or 2 hours to make a small little logo. It won't take long. That is not my friend's fault or your customer's fault for having no idea how long it takes you to do something. And you may think, well, why wouldn't they ask? Because they just assume, and it's our job. We're the professional. We know we're supposed to avoid these problems. We should know that this is going to be an issue or a potential issue. So it is our job. Chicken, I'm supposed to talk. It's not your turn to talk. Let's back up a bit. Lesson number 1, the customer has no idea how much time goes into these things. They don't know how much we spend on programs, on equipment, on anything, on the supplies, let alone the years it takes us to learn to do this craft. It's your job to make sure they know. If you're too uncomfortable to give that price and be very, very clear, then you're probably not at a point where taking commissions is a good idea. Better yet, have your prices clearly put up on your website, because you're gonna have people who contact you and expect to spend $20 for something, and then it's kind of awkward for you to be like, no, my prices are actually closer to $800. So if you have everything on your website, and if you decided at that point you would give them a discount on top of it, you can say, and 20% off on that. But you want something that's very clear, very easy for them to understand what to expect to pay before you ever take your pen to the pencil to that paper, or your pen to your Wacom tablet. So lesson number 2, don't make time promises or tell somebody you're gonna get something done if you're not able to fit in that time frame. If you're not gonna put the same work into theirs as everybody else's, just don't take the job. This is why I stopped doing commissions myself. I just didn't have time to provide the customer service that I felt the customer deserved. So I stopped taking them. And in this case, let's say you don't want to work for a discount, or you don't want to do something for a family and friend. Tell them you're booked, you're busy. There's nothing wrong with that. My friend finally hears back from this artist. Now at this point, she is really stressing out because she's running out of time to get prints made. The artist sends her a logo made out of clip art. I'm not kidding you. Clip art on a logo. Chicken, where are you? Do you understand how ridiculous you're hiding? You see, look, Chicken's hiding. Chicken knows. Clip art does not belong on a logo. Yeah, Chicken, tell them how terrible this was. You don't use clip art on logos, and if you do, okay. Like clip art on a website, clip art on certain things, sure. A logo? What? My friend asks her to change a couple of lines on this project because she did add some stuff to said clip art. It wasn't good. Okay, the work is finally done. The artist emails my friend all the information, all the files, all the work is sent to her before she ever tells my friend the total price. No money has changed hands, no anything. Artists, this is, again, I don't think this is a professional artist. I think she's a liar. But you don't ever, I don't care if it's a friend, if you're charging them, it could be your mom. If you're planning on them paying you, you don't send the work before the payment's sent through. I mean, give your mom free work. So after she sends it, she gives her the total. My friend was shocked because the artist said it took 5 to 6 hours. She actually charged her an hour of work to email the files. An hour. $45. Friend rate. Oh, sorry. Friend retail rate. Now, the fee that she was charging my friend was actually a decent fee for a logo. Maybe not this logo. Clip art. But if it was like an actual good logo, what are you doing? If it's an actual decent logo, the price she charged her, totally, like definitely I would call that discounted. The problem was my friend had no idea. 5 to 6 hours. Why didn't the artist mention that in the beginning? Chicken, you can't stand down there and talk to my feet. So my friend sees this bill and she is in a panic. She was seriously expecting, you know, under $100. Now you may think, well, that's an unreasonable expectation. The average person has no idea that it takes us so long to design a logo. Clip art, so it didn't take her that long, but whatever. Oh, but she spent a long time choosing the font. This is the thing, there should never have been a surprise on the price. So what should have happened here? Let's back up to the very beginning. We're gonna go back to day one. My friend contacts the artist, says, hey, can you do this logo for me? The artist says, sure, here's my price list. I will give you this much of a discount. Notice the word retail didn't come up at any point. She doesn't have a website. She can say, okay, my price is $45 an hour. It's gonna take 5 to 6 hours. That price includes 2 changes. Any additional changes that you require on top of that are going to be billed at $50 an hour. Also, pro tip for those of you taking commissions, whether it be for pet portraits or any type of custom painting, logo, whatever, make sure that customer knows this is the limit on allowed changes that are included in that price. Anything additional costs this much. Always do that because you're gonna have one of 2 things happen. Either you're gonna have a customer who just thinks it's fun to make changes because they feel a part of the process and they feel artsy, and I had a lady do that to me once. She was just having a blast. The other thing that you're going to have happen is the customer who's just never going to be happy with anything, and they're always going to feel, should I change this? Should I change that? So it's always best have a limit and make sure they know that if they go beyond that limit, there is a fee. It will put an end to the hundreds of changes they will otherwise request of you. So anyway, again, it's gonna be 45 hours. It's gonna take me 5 to 6 hours to get this done. If you're charging an hourly rate, you better know how many hours it takes you to get work done. Otherwise, don't charge by the hour. That's not fair to the customer. This is going to require a 50% deposit before I start. Once I start, that deposit is non-refundable and work is going to be done at this point in time. Date should be provided. And at that point, I will require the final payment before I release the files to you. Follow all of that. Most of your transactions, 99% of your transactions are gonna be smooth, easygoing, no problems. Instead, what happened, this artist ended up being an embarrassment to anybody who calls themselves an artist. I read the texts. She's just so unprofessional. It was bad. I mean, she went off on a tirade about this is how I put food on my family's table. It's not fair of you to question me. And I'm like, all this drama, and my friend was just devastated. She was so upset because now there's an awkward thing with this girl and that she thought was a friend who she feels like is trying to take advantage of her. Again, not an unreasonable price. Why didn't she tell her what that price was going to be in the beginning? There's just no, chicken's talking to my feet again. Don't expect the customer to know your job. That's on you. It is up to you to know all of these things and let them know what to expect. I think most of us have a time early in our career where something like this happens and we learn a lesson. Not 18 years later, but Clip Art Lady probably hasn't been doing this for actually 18 years. Let me know what happened in your situation that made you learn the lesson to always take a deposit, to be clear on the price. What changes did you make after your learning experience? Want more art videos? I think you will like this one here. There's a chicken on my head. Good chicken. That's a good chicken.